Yo, y'all already know what it is, man. It's 5 p.m. Eastern Time. We getting closer and closer to fight night, man. Canelo Alvarez versus Edgar Berlanga. Danny Garcia versus Erislandy Lara. Caleb Plant and Rolly Romero. They're also going to fight. So, yo, let's get it, man. Some good boxing coming up. I want to hear, some last minute predictions. Let's see, how many people actually believe Berlanga has a chance. I've been seeing more and more people say, hey, I believe he can win that fight. Still, the majority are leaning towards Canelo and by stoppage. So I'm interested, man. I'm interested in seeing what you guys think about that. Yo, man, a quick update, and I'm disappointed about that. Devin Haney, it was said that he was in negotiations with Liam Parrow that they would fight, I think, in December. And I was super excited about that. I actually posted a video talking about that, that possible fight. And I was just so surprised, like, wow, Devin, is coming off of such a tough fight versus Ryan Garcia, and he's going straight into a guy like Liam Parrow, an undefeated champion, a guy who has momentum on his side, who's coming, from beating Subriel Matias. That was an upset. So Liam Parrow, he's shown that he is the truth, and Devin Haney, going straight into the fire. So I was happy to see that, thinking that fight was going to happen, of course. And apparently, it's not going to happen. I've seen somewhere, that they're saying the business aspect did not work out. Someone said Devin Haney overpriced himself, but you know how that goes. That's a matter of opinion. I don't know, what he was offered or what he was asking for. I just know for whatever reason, it looks like the fight is not going to be made. So I'm disappointed about that because I really wanted to see it. Let's see who Devin is going to fight next. Tank Davis doesn't have an opponent. I'm just saying. Tank Davis and Teofimo Lopez don't have opponents. So if Devin want to go in that direction. However, Tank Davis is talking to Rayo Valenzuela. I think they're in negotiations trying to fight. Tank wants to make it happen for November. And Rayo's team want to make it happen for February, I believe. So I think that's why they haven't been able to close the deal. They're working on it. But for tonight, I already got my prediction in. I got Canelo Alvarez stopping Edgar Berlanga by or before the 10th round. That's how I see it playing out. With regards to Danny Garcia and Erislandy Lara, man, I ain't even been able to make a prediction with that fight. That's the classic matchup of the boxer versus the puncher. And you know that Erislandy Lara is going to use his footwork. He's going to use his reach advantage. He's going to use that long, stiff jab. And Danny Garcia is going to have his work cut out for him. A lot of people don't even realize it because everyone is talking about Canelo and Berlanga. But Danny Garcia is trying to become a champion in a third division. So he's trying to make history himself. Is he going to be able to get past Lara's jab and his footwork and land that big left hook and do what he does? We have to see it. We have to see how it's going to play out. But we're a few hours away. I'm going to be going live, giving you guys the round-by-round reactions. And my peoples, come on, man. Don't be cheap, man. Y'all got to hit that like button, man. Don't be cheap with that like button. Check it. Box Center, I promise you, is going to be your favorite boxing channel. Period, point blank. So hit that like button. Subscribe to Box Center if you have not subscribed. And by the way, my peoples, Mondays through Fridays, I am live at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You don't want to miss it. Box Center, the show is unlike anything you ever seen before. This is different. This is for the boxing fans. This is something that you're going to enjoy. We always talking about the biggest fights, the best fighters. By the way, my peoples, I also run the press for my city's boxing association. And tomorrow, I'm going to be at an elite level amateur tournament. So I'm actually be in the neutral corner, right there. So we're gonna see some fire videos on Box Center, exclusive content. My people, here in Box Center, you will see exclusive content that you're only gonna catch it here. I promise you that. Hit that like button, subscribe to Box Center, and jump in for this ride, my peoples, because we on the come up. I promise you that. We is on the come up, and you don't want to miss out. You don't. But again, my peoples, Edgar Berlanga says that he's going to knock Canelo out in the 6th round. Canelo Alvarez says he's going to beat him up and stop him by the 8th. They're both predicting that their opponent is getting knocked out. Now, obviously, they both can't be right? Which means that somebody's capped. What's good, my guy? Boom, El Fantasma, Geraldo. What's good, my guy? Yo, man, we ready. We ready for tonight. I'm getting, I already predicted. To me, Canelo Alvarez is going to stop Edgar Berlanga. It's a stoppage. So what do you guys think? You guys think Berlanga is going to shock the world? Because that's what he's saying, basically. He's talking about he even wants to retire Canelo. And you know what? This is what upsets are made of. Right there. Everybody think this guy's going to win. Everybody's saying this guy's going to knock him out. Before you know it, boom. The complete opposite happens. And that's what Edgar Berlanga is trying to do. That's what Edgar Berlanga is trying to do. My boy from PR. Oh, no. So you definitely going for Berlanga to shock the world, huh? Yeah. So let me tell you something, Geraldo. Let me tell you something. And I told people this, right? I'm expecting Canelo to win that fight because of the difference in experience. But Berlanga, he has the power to change the outcome of this fight. I don't think he could outbox Canelo, but I think he has the power that if he hurts Canelo, he can change the outcome of the fight. Jason Urrego, ¿qué es lo que, hermanito mío? Yo, Edgar Berlanga has been, he's been looking real confident the last few days. He's been saying he's going to knock Canelo out. He's saying that he wants to retire him. Now, I'm wondering, does he really feel like he could knock Canelo out? Or is he just, promoting the fight, talking? Because you got to remember, Canelo Alvarez has never even been wobbled in his life. He's never even been in a situation where you're like, oh, he's hurt. He's going to get... So it's tough, for you to think you're going to go in there and knock him out in the 6th round. I believe that. I believe that 100%. And I think that's how it's going to play out. I think that Berlanga is going to be aggressive from the beginning. And that'll allow him to win, 2 or 3 of the first few rounds and get ahead on the cards. But I don't know, man. I think that, and that's why I believe that he's been saying that I'm going to knock him out. I think Berlanga knows that he's not going to outbox Canelo for 12 rounds and beat him on the cards. So in a way, I think that there is some pressure to get that knockout. And like I said, man, it's not necessarily get the knockout, because if you hurt somebody real bad, that can change how they fight. So even if you don't knock them out, now you can outbox them and outpoint them because they're hurt and they're not able to recover. So I believe if he can hurt Canelo, he can win the fight. If he doesn't hurt him, drop him, or put him in a tough situation, then and they're just gonna be in a boxing match, I see Canelo running away with it. But again, that's my take. We have to see how it's gonna play out. We have to see how it's gonna play out, because When you have a guy like Berlanga who has that power, and he has power in both hands, the whole plan can go out the window with one punch. And let me tell you something, my peoples, that sometimes fighters don't get knocked out because they have a glass jaw or because they can't take a punch. They get knocked out because of the timing when they take that punch. You see, the best fighters, they see every single punch coming. It might hit them, but they saw it coming. When a punch catch you and you don't see it coming, it could knock you out because your body's not waiting for it and not reacting to it accordingly. So to give you an example, if I'm like this and I see a left hook come in my direction and it's gonna hit me, I stiffen my neck, and when that left hook hits, my whole body moves in that direction. Now, if I'm throwing a jab and at the same time that left hook comes and hits me and I didn't see it coming, boom, when it hit me, it turns my whole neck, my whole head, boom. So that's what can knock somebody out as well. And if you get hit like that, it don't matter how strong you are, how good your chin is. Yo, once your head go like that from that punch, it's a wrap. You getting laid out. So people think, oh, it's a glass jaw. Nah, yo. Some fighters, if you watch Canelo, if you watch Triple G, the guys that's never been knocked out, yo, these guys don't take those type of punches where you hit them and their head wobbling all over the place. They like this, and when you hit them, they body moving with it. So I think, it's about that. Now, if Edgar Berlanga can hurt Canelo, let's say he lands a big left hook, a big right hand, and hurts him, then he can change the whole outcome of the fight. He could be the first to stop him, like he said he would, or he can hurt him bad enough to where Canelo doesn't recover fully and is not able to be active enough to win the fight, where Berlanga can outbox him, can outwork him. You see? And I think that's going to be the key for this fight. Berlanga is going to have to outwork Canelo. He's going to have to throw more punches than Canelo. He's going to have to make it an ugly fight. He's going to have to grab him, push him, shove him, put them laces in his face. Got to do everything. Because when you're the underdog and there's a lack of experience on your side, you got to do everything you possibly can to beat somebody like Canelo. Every trick in the book that you can find, you got to use it. Let's see how it's going to play out, man. Everybody has, made their predictions. I already made my predictions multiple times. I pretty much been telling y'all every day this week that Canelo's going to stop him. And there's a few people that told me that Berlanga is going to stop Canelo. We're going to find out who's right. We can't all be right. Somebody got to be wrong. But check it, my peoples. Y'all already know what it is. Hit that like button if you love boxing. And yo, this is different right here. Box Center is not the usual. Check out them videos. Check out those shorts. And you'll see. Box Center is straight boxing content for people who understand and love boxing. This is for you, my peoples. Go ahead. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Subscribe to Box Center. Remember, Box Center, the show, is live from Mondays through Fridays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. All new segments that you'll never see in another YouTube channel. All new content. All original content. Ain't nobody copying you. Ain't nobody copying, other content creators, other channels, or talking or doing whatever everybody else is. No. This is Box Center, my people. This is something new. This is something different. So if you love boxing, I'm your connections. I'm your plug, my peoples. JSmiff. You see it right there, yo. Hit that like button. Don't be cheap. And subscribe. And again, man, whatever, I think Canelo versus Berlanga is going to be a very good fight. It's going to be competitive. I feel like Berlanga is going to come out fast. No Diddy. He's going to put, his best effort, and Canelo is going to do the same. The only difference, I think, the two factors that I focus on the most is that Edgar Berlanga has never been in a championship fight. This is his debut in a championship fight. And you're going to go against a guy who's been in over 20 championship fights, arguably and widely considered the face of boxing, a pound-for-pound fighter. I believe that the lights are going to be too bright. And, Canelo, that work to the body is going to start adding up. And, if Berlanga can't hurt him, can't, put him in a situation where Canelo has to be cautious, he has to be careful and not function the way he normally would. If he don't get uncomfortable when he does what he normally do, I see him stopping Berlanga. That's how I see it playing out. Danny Garcia, man, versus Erislandis Lara. Man, listen, that fight is a few hours away, and I still haven't been able to make a prediction. Like I said, man, it's the classic matchup. The boxer, the puncher, who's going to win it? Danny Garcia is trying to make history, win a title in a third division. Erislandis Lara trying to defend that. Let's see how that's going to play out, man. But I haven't been able. I think, I'm going to predict the winner of that fight as they're both in the ring getting ready to fight. I'm going to look at them while they're in the ring and see if I see anything that might give me a hint, Oh, okay, look, this guy coughed. He got the flu. I got to see any advantage or disadvantage that one of them may have before I make my pick. But those fights are always tough to judge because, if the boxer can stay away from the power, he'll be able to outbox his opponent. But then again, if the puncher lands, he's going to change the entire landscape. We got to see how it's going to play out, man. We got to see it. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to seeing Rolly Romero. The reason I say that is because Rolly's, after he lost to Pitbull, is kind of like his stock has dropped. Like, people haven't been talking about Rolly anymore. And, he was buzzing a lot, at the time that he was in training camp and when he fought Tank Davis. And even after that, before he fought Pitbull, we're talking about Rolly's had 2 straight main events. And from those 2 straight main events, now he's on the undercard. He's the first fight, of these 4 fights. And, nobody was really talking about Rolly. Like, I don't even know who his opponent is. I saw his opponent, but I can't remember who it is. Because, again, nobody's really talking about Rolly. Ooh, my boy Ken Grayson. What's the deal, Ken Grayson? Hold on. Because Ken Grayson's my guy, man. I already know you know your boxing, man. I got to put you in here. I got to put you on. I know you know your boxing, Ken Grayson. What's the deal, my brother? Boom. You already know what it is, man. I'm going to be going live for Canelo Alvarez versus Edgar Berlanga. I'm going to be giving y'all that round-by-round reaction. You know how we do it, my boy. You already know what it is. And my peoples, don't be cheap with that like button. Stop playing with me. Hit that like button. And if you love boxing and if you understand and know boxing, this is for you right here. Boxing is for you. So you definitely need to hit the like button and subscribe. This is it right here. And Ken Grayson. So there's a few people that's been saying now that they believe Berlanga can win this fight. Somebody told me today that they believe Berlanga can and will stop Canelo. What's your take on that? Can Edgar Berlanga shock the world? And I'm saying shock the world because, at the end of the day, the majority of people feel like Canelo's going to fold him. The majority. I haven't seen the betting odds in Vegas, but I can imagine crazy lopsided in Canelo's favor. It has to be. It has to be. So again, my peoples, right now it's 5 p.m. Eastern time. That fight's in a few hours. Danny Garcia versus Erislandis Lara. I think I'm gonna predict that fight when they're already in the ring. I haven't been able to predict it, man, for real. You saw him sparring and got dropped. Who got dropped? Oh no. Who got dropped, my boy? Canelo about to smash him. So this is what I'm saying, right? I got Canelo stopping him in the 10th round. And the reason I say that is because I believe, number one, I do believe Berlanga is going to come out fast. And number two, I can picture him making it interesting the first, 4-5 rounds. He going to stand in there. I know he's ready and willing to trade with Canelo. But I think that the body shots are going to eventually start adding up. You're going to see that wear and tear. And that's when we're going to also see Canelo's experience. And that's it. Once he starts stepping on the gas and getting his timing and rhythm, I think Canelo's going to start picking him apart slowly. And that's it. By the 10th round or even maybe before that, he getting the stoppage. But look what Berlanga's saying. He said he's going to stop Canelo in the 6th round. The only win he gets is a good payday. Yo, you know what? That's real talk. That's real talk. But listen, this is what upsets are made of. I'm not saying he's going to pull off the upset, but this is how upsets happen, right? Everybody think this guy's going to win, and they prove us wrong. So let's see. He's saying he's going to knock Canelo out in the 6th round. That's what he's saying. And I think it was a mistake for him to say that. I'm going to tell you why. It was a mistake for him to predict that he's going to knock Canelo out in the 6th round, because what happens when the 6th round finishes and they got to now go fight for the 7th round? Now your prediction went out the window, right? What type of pressure is that going to put on you? So, I don't know, man. I don't know. We got to see. Johnny Miera, what's good, man? Boom. You already know, man. We talking about, what's going to happen tonight? Is Canelo Alvarez going to knock Edgar Berlanga out? Or is Berlanga going to sleep him and shock the world? You got to know. We got to know. And, of course, Danny Garcia, Erislandis Lara. Predictions. Who thinks Danny's going to win that fight? Who thinks Lara's going to win that fight? Canelo by stoppage in the 7th round. Okay, King Grayson, so let me ask you. If you got the stoppage in the 7th round, do you got a body blow, a headshot, or the referee, just having mercy on Berlanga because he's taking such a beating? How do you see that stoppage playing out? I see it in the, like I said, I see the stoppage. I see Canelo stopping Berlanga in the 10th round, maybe before. I'm thinking about a left hook, man. I don't know why I feel like the left hook is going to put him, either the left hook is going to stop him or put him in real bad shape and be the beginning of the ending. Danny got no chance. He's way too small and not active enough. Okay, so let me tell you something, Johnny. You got a valid point. But Erislandis Lara, he hasn't been real active either, right? So as far as the activity, I think it's fair. They're pretty much even, because neither guy's been active like that. Take this into consideration. You're right. Danny is smaller. But Erislandis Lara, I think he's like 40, 41 years old, my God. So Let's see if this is the fight where he's gonna get old in front of us. So Danny is a little bit older in size, a little bit smaller in size, but he has the advantage in age, in strength. He's the younger, stronger guy out of the two. I think Danny's 36, if I'm not mistaken. So that could play a factor, age versus youth. Anthony Joshua versus Nagano. Damn, a straight beating like that. Oh, okay. He's not active enough as in punches. You know, let's see how that's gonna play out. Let's see how that's gonna play out. I get your point, and you're right about that. But Danny's gonna have that left hook. If he can carry it to the division, and if he can hurt Lara, I believe that he can win that fight. I believe, Danny, he's a killer. If he hurt him, I believe he can win that fight. Swing for the fences and be aggressive and dirty. Yo, listen, King Grayson, I've been saying that. He got to make it a dirty fight. If he make it one of these fights where we just going to be boxing, exchanging clean, yo, Lara's going to outbox him. He got to make it one of those fights where there's, just all types of tactics. Rubbing them laces in your face and everything. Yo, it's got to get serious up in there, Danny got to make it his fight. If he allowed Lara to dictate his pace, dictate how, own the ring, it's going to be a wrap. It's going to be a long night for Danny. So, but it's like I told y'all, man, we got to consider the fact that Danny Garcia is about 36 years old and Lara's like 41. Got to take that into consideration. Got to take that into consideration. Yo, I'm trying to tell you, my guy, Danny Garcia, yo, he got to, put them laces in his face when the ref is not looking, rub his elbow in his neck, shove him, mush him down, all types. You got to do everything. Everything. You want to be... And let me tell you something. People sleeping on that fight simply because what you guys say, well, Danny's been inactive, Lara's been inactive, so they're not fighters that are like popping right now. But this fight, if you look at the quality of those two fighters, on any other day, that could be a main event. As a matter of fact, Garcia versus Lara was going to be a main event last year. What happened is with the whole situation with Showtime pulling the plug on boxing, that fight ended up not happening because of that. But that's a heck of a fight. I believe it's going to be a good fight. You're rooting for Danny Garcia, but you don't know who's going to win that fight. Yo, I'm telling you, I've been saying that I'm going to make my prediction, and I haven't been able to make it, yo. I even said that I'm going to make it during the weigh-in. I still couldn't do it. They both look sharp. They both look good. Nobody looked dehydrated. So now I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make my prediction when they step in the ring. Right before the first bell ring, I'm going to predict the outcome. So, Ryan Grayson, I got love for all the Garcias except Ryan, garbage, weird ass. So, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm cool with all the Garcias as well. To be honest, man, Ryan Garcia, I honestly believe that he does struggle with mental health issues. And that's what makes him seem like such a a-hole. But I think that he's a good guy. I think he's actually a good-hearted guy who just struggle with mental health issues. And I've known people who deal with that. And people who deal with that tend to lash out and say crazy things and act, outrageous. But I think Ryan is okay. So Johnny Miera, too bad Berlanga didn't know how to box a little more because he has a great frame to keep Canelo on the outside with a good jab and combinations like Bivol did. Looking for a knockout is going to get himself knocked out. Yo, what you said right there is on point. Johnny Miera, that was on point, my boy. You know why? Let me tell you why. If you look at Bivol, Bivol didn't beat Canelo with power. He outboxed him. And he outboxed him with his height and his reach advantages. That's it. And if you look at both of Canelo's losses, it hasn't been about power. Both of Canelo's losses, Floyd Mayweather, Dimitri Bivol. Neither of those guys either had a high knockout percentage or was known as a knockout puncher. And neither of those guys hurt Canelo at any time during their fights. But they both outboxed him thoroughly. You know, that's how you know that the recipe to beat Canelo Alvarez is not power. You don't have to have power. Now, Edgar Berlanga, I believe power is in his favor because if he hurt Canelo, he has the power to get him out of there, or he has the power to get him out of his game and beat him. But you're going to have to box him. Canelo, you know, he has that iron jaw, that iron chin, that metal neck. You got a boxer. You're not just going to go in there and knock him out. This guy took Triple G's biggest punches like them things was soft shell tacos. This guy ate a Triple G uppercut like that thing was a chalupa. You're not going to hurt Canelo like that. And that's the thing. Edgar Berlanga, he's not known for having that type of footwork where he's going to just outbox you, you know, for the duration. Berlanga's more of a guy that, you know, he needs an opponent to cooperate with him, to stand in front of him and fight him. But he don't want to do that with Canelo. So can he be the guy with the footwork? Like, because you got to remember, yo, the two people who beat Canelo had exceptional footwork. Floyd Mayweather had the best footwork in the game. And right now, Dimitri Bivol is one of the best boxers in the game, period, in any division that you want to talk about. Dimitri Bivol is that guy. Nobody at 168 got the footwork that you see. I'm sorry, at 175 got the footwork that you see in Dimitri Bivol. Nobody, not even close. So those are the people who were successful against Canelo. Does Edgar Berlanga got that type of footwork? No, we already know that. So that's why I say, yo, he gotta use his power to his advantage and try to hurt Canelo at some point in that fight. He's not gonna outbox him. I don't think he could beat him on the cards. Danny's looking good, man. He's looking sharp. You seen him at the weigh-in. He didn't look drained. Like, that's the thing. When guys move up in weight and they don't have to cut so much weight, they be showing up to that weigh-in looking strong. Danny Garcia, in that weigh-in, he looked strong. He looked like he ready to. So that's all I'm saying, man. Let's not just think that Danny Garcia is going to get washed, because it's not that simple. You know, he's been inactive, but he's a championship caliber fighter. And not only is he a championship caliber fighter, you've seen the opponents that he's been in the ring with. Danny's been that guy that he's been all about the smoke throughout his career. So Lara's not going to be his first rodeo. Let's get that out of the way. So mental health don't make you racist, but it makes you act erratic. And acting erratic means that you will say anything, including racist shit. But you got to understand that Ryan Garcia is been around black folks his whole life. And he got black friends. So He, and I'm talking about, people from that's been around him. I've heard it from people been around him personally who say, nah, man, that nigga's not a racist. He just, when he be on his mental health shit, he be saying crazy stuff. He'll say anything. You got to think about it. You're focusing on the racist part, but this guy's talking about aliens. This guy's talking about all types of stuff. So I honestly, based on what the people who've been around him have said, I don't believe that he's a racist. And I got to tell you something. For a moment there, I was a little bit iffy, right? For a moment there, I was like, damn, yo, like, because, if I know that he's a racist, that's it. I'm not messing with him no more. That's it. I'm done with him. If I feel like, yeah, he a racist, I'm done with him. But I had to really, really think about it and really analyze a lot of little things that are going on around him. And I come to the conclusion that, nah, Ryan Garcia is not a racist. He just got his mental health issues that he's dealing with. Yo, King Grayson, you got that right. Skills pay the bills. Skills pay the bills. That's why the boxers beat the punchers all the time. All the time. Yet, the punchers are usually the more popular. People like the punchers. So they say the puncher's going to knock them out. And then when they get outboxed, boom. I mean, okay, so King Grayson, if you're saying it's going to be easy work, let me ask you a question. You say you got the stoppage in the 6th round, right? Do you think Canelo is going to win all 6 rounds, 5 out of 6 rounds? Or is it going to be closer than that? Because the way you're saying, yo, easy work, he about to smash this boy, I don't know if you're saying that Canelo's just going to come there and pummel him and bully him for 2 rounds and stop him in the 2nd round. Like, what exactly are you saying by easy work? Like, Canelo's going to smash this boy. Like, what are we saying? Because I see Canelo winning, but I also see that fight being competitive, especially in the first half. Those first 4, 5 rounds, I believe that's going to be competitive. When you got that young, hungry lion who never lost, who don't know how to lose, he's going to come out firing on all cylinders. It's just that. So this is the difference, right? You see that Canelo's just going to smash him, easy work. What I see is that Canelo's going to have to soften him up. And we're going to see that in a few hours. Watch. Canelo's going to have to soften him up and land some of those body shots. Boom, boom, boom. And as he lands those body shots and starts softening them up, slowing them down, now Berlanga starts bringing his head down a little bit to block some of those shots. And then eventually, that's what I see happening. He's going to try to block one of those body shots and boom, catch it right there or right there on the left side of the... I think he's going to be... I've been saying it's a left hook, but it could be with the right. It could be, that looping right hand that Canelo be landing to. I'm not sure, man, if it's the looping right hand or the left. But again, I got Canelo having to soften him up, slow him down. And then by the 9th or 10th round, he's finally going to land that big shot, hurt him and get him out of there. So I don't got him, winning it easily or nothing like that. My peoples, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't be cheap. Don't be cheap with that like button. Look at it right there. Box Center. Yo, join the Box Center family. Subscribe, because this is exclusive boxing content for people who love boxing, and especially for people who know boxing. If you know boxing, Box Center is for you, my people. Subscribe. Hit that like button, man. Don't be cheap. And y'all already know what it is, man. When it comes to tonight, I already told y'all my prediction. Canelo Alvarez is going to stop Berlanga by or before the 10th round. For Danny Garcia and Islandis Lara, I'm going to make my prediction right before the fight. I already told y'all I'm going to be live. And, the guy that's fighting Caleb Plant, I don't really know him like that. I've seen some highlights. It looked like he has some pretty good pop. But I'm going to have to go with Berlanga winning this fight. I'm sorry, the guy who's facing Caleb Plant. He looked like he got some decent pop. But I'm going with Caleb Plant to win this fight. And listen, Rolly Romero needs to look spectacular. I'm telling you. Because after the way that he lost to Pitbull, it's like his stock dropped. Nobody's really talking about Rolly no more. So he needs to win in spectacular fashion, get a knockout, put the guy to sleep or something like that. So that replay could be on ESPN, it could be all over, and people start talking about Rolly. If he loses, that's a problem. Rolly cannot lose. King Grayson from California. Ooh, born and raised. You got those Mexicans that love us and the ones that hate us. It's going to be like that. It's always, what I've noticed, and I've been around so many different people from so many different races, right? That in every race, you're going to find people who don't like you automatically. And in every race, you're also going to find people who like you and have no problem with you at all. So, we can't generalize, because if we really go by looking at the reality, every encountered, I've seen have racist people. And every race that I have ever encountered also have great people who don't give a damn about race. So that's kind of like a worldwide thing. Now, the thing about racism is that racism is also part of tradition sometimes. And what I mean by part of traditions, come on, almost in every race, if you got two parents that are from the same race, they want you to marry somebody from the same race too. Almost everybody does that. And if two parents from the same race, if their kid wants to marry somebody of a different race, they'll at least throw in a little comment about it. Like, oh, he's marrying outside the race. Or, oh, you could have married somebody from our race. They'll at least throw a little something in there. So, technically that's racist, because people want to stay within their race, when in reality, everybody should just spread out. Spread out. But that's just my crazy opinion. Luckily, I'm not famous, so this is not going to go viral. And I don't know what community will go down hard on me for saying that. But, listen, if you don't believe what he says, I respect that. From my personal opinion and with my understanding, I have a little bit of an understanding when it comes to psychology and mental health issues. And from my understanding when it comes to that subject, I'm good with Ryan. I think he just needs help. I walk through the park easy. It's 123, at least it should be. Canelo do in these last years, he just smashed it. Yeah, man. Oh my goodness. But let me tell you something though. I was super disappointed in Mel Charlo, because he didn't come to win. Like, at some point when he ate a couple of big shots, he just started fighting to survive. He was out there to make it 12 rounds. That's it. He wasn't out there, trying to win, trying to exchange, trying to land big counter punches. None of the things that you usually see Mel doing, you saw him doing in that fight. In that fight, he was trying to fight to not get knocked out. And but that's what I'm saying, King Grayson. Berlanga has to go in there, and I believe that he's gonna start off at a fast pace, and let's see how Canelo's gonna match that energy. My people, it's already 5:40 p.m. Eastern time here on my end, so I'm gonna drop off. First off, man, I want to say thank you guys for hopping on with me, chilling for a bit. Remember, I will be going live later on. Tune in. Let's trash talk. Let's talk boxing. And let's see how that fight's going to play out, man. Let's watch it together, my peoples. You already know what it is, man. Box Center. Your favorite boxers, favorite boxing show. Peace. I see you guys in a few, man.